So let me ask you this. Does this situation sound somewhat familiar? You come home from a long day at work or school, or if you're a student now, you just log off Zoom, and you want to draw, right? You want to get to it because you just spent an entire day doing something that you probably didn't want to do, or something that you don't really enjoy doing, right? In my case, I'm a STEM student, and sure, I do like that stuff, but I come home and the one thing that's on my mind is drawing, but I can't do that because I do this instead. I go on my bed, I pull up my phone, and the first thing I do is log on Instagram. That is probably the worst decision that I could make because what do? Well, I look at my feed, and since I'm an artist, who do I follow? I follow artists, and I start scrolling and liking their photos, and looking through my explore page and seeing all this awesome art. Saw all this clean line work, these amazing colors, these amazing characters, these people with a ton more likes than me, a ton more followers than me, and I suddenly don't want to draw anymore. I suddenly feel like a failure. I suddenly feel like I'm not going to be able to do what they're doing. I'm not going to be able to draw like this. So what happens? I don't draw. I start a drawing. I'll do some lines. I'll maybe draw the head, for example. But I won't actually get it done. I won't actually draw the piece. I won't produce something that maybe won't be good, but I will still draw it. I don't do that. And it's because I won't be an artist. And if you believe that too, then I'll be the first to break it to you. You probably will never become an artist. And now that's probably gonna be crushing your ego right now, but that's a good segue to the reasons why you will not become one. Now the first reason is that that scenario that I just mentioned. You're comparing yourself to others. Now, this quote is from Jordan Green, a great YouTuber, and he said, "Comparison is the thief of joy," which is very true, because you're constantly thinking about somebody else's work, somebody else's life, for example, but you're not trying to live your own. Is the problem? Constantly comparing yourself to somebody else who's drawing way better than you, right? You're thinking about how they do it, right? And sure, that may be a good way to learn. That's actually a great way to learn because you can learn from a successful artist, but at the same time, you're comparing yourself to them when you're just a kid sitting inside his bedroom drawing and trying to make it, right? When that guy, he's professional. He works on, for example, Disney movies or something, right? So you're not at that level, right? And comparison is the thief of joy because you're constantly thinking about somebody else's path when you have your own path. And when you try to jump to somebody else's path, you won't be making your own path. So, therefore, you just crush your whole chances at becoming an artist. And that's probably why you won't be. 2, you're inconsistent. This is a big problem for me, especially since I'm a student, but that's still not a justifiable excuse because it doesn't really matter what you're doing in life. It doesn't really matter your situation. People say that, so I have a full-time job. Like, bro, like, you can still make art if you want to make art, right? If you're a full-time student, you can still make art. If you're working 2 jobs, you can still make art because you want to do it, right? But you're inconsistent with it because this stems from the comparison thing. You start looking at social media, you start looking through Facebook, Instagram, you start doing all these instant gratification things and not being consistent with what you actually want to do, which is draw. right? It's a problem because inconsistency is where you fall into your skills being less harnessed, right? If you're just a hobbyist and you draw, once a week, every 2 weeks, every month, consistency is not your concern. But if you actually want to take art to a professional level, you have to be drawing at least once a day, at least for 30 minutes, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. Just be consistent with it. You have to actually set a block of time, because most people won't have a situation where, like you're like Angel Ganev and just locked in just inside your room for 5 years, just painting all day. That's it's not probably gonna happen to you. But not to diss him because he's actually a really cool guy. But most of us don't have this situation. But we have to stay consistent. You have to block out a certain amount of time. So I would recommend in the morning or late at night, like around like 6 or 7, and I'm just block out like 30 minutes. That's all it takes. Just 30 minutes. 1 hour, right? And just draw. Just work on a piece you want to post on Instagram. Work on some storyboards. So whatever it is you work on, that's for your art, right? You have to stay consistent with it, because once you're inconsistent, you then start to fall into laziness, procrastination, and those things. And because those are side effects of comparison, which is why I think, I'm big brain for this. The third thing is belief. You didn't become an artist because you wanted to be rich, right? We all know that, like the whole caricature. That's probably not the best word. It's like an archetype, the starving artist. Not selling a painting. Like homeless, just drawing. That old thing. That's pretty outdated. But that comes from this belief. It comes from you not believing that you can be an artist, right? Once you believe that you cannot be, then you will not be, right? I forget who said this. It was in my philosophy class, but it's I think, therefore I am, right? If you don't think you're an artist, you won't be an artist. Now, I'm going to get pretty philosophical with you here. I actually tend to do this in real life. This is a very common thing with me, if you know me in real life. And since you didn't go into art for the money, you went into the art because you're passionate about it, right? Because you truly believe that you could actually do this. And the reason why you became an artist was because you believe that because you believe you can do anything, right? That's why pursuing art is so scary for most people. It's not because it's a risky career. It's not because it's unstable. It's it's frowned upon, right? It's that you believe that you can do anything, right? So professional artists have the work ethic to become a doctor, right? You could become a doctor. You could become a lawyer. You could become a stem cell researcher. Get a doctor in neuroscience, which is what I was gonna do actually. You have to believe that you can do anything, right? And it doesn't really matter what path you take. You will find success within that path. And that's the reason why you chose art. So why don't you believe that? Right? Because once you don't believe in what you're doing, you won't be able to do it. Right? Once you have that negative self-talk, once you start comparing yourself, once you start being inconsistent, that floods your mind with this belief that you can't do it. So my question is, why are you not doing it? Why are you not drawing? Come on, bro. Just pick up the pen. It's not that hard. That was the video for this week. It was kind of quick. It's first week of semester, so I was kind of swamped. But hopefully I'll have some more videos for you guys, and I hope I hope I helped you get out of an art rut, because I personally this week was kind of in one. I've only drawn maybe 3 times this week, and I just got a new tablet, so that really sucks, but it's fine. But I hope this video, helped you actually just get up and draw, because I know you want to do that. So with that said, bro, like I've said before, know the truth, speak to the truth. It's Scalia, signing off.